Jen Rosa, and welcome to True Heel Heat.
This is the knockout artist, Chris Hero. And if you're looking for some true heel heat, you better listen to them boys.
What's up, guys? It's Wolverine Death Machine, Mr. GMSI himself, Brian Cage, and you're watching True Heel Heat. Who better? Nobody.
Hello. It is me, your True Hill Phenom, SP3. We are live on the True Hill Heat YouTube and Facebook for AEWramble episode 113, The Devil's Catalyst, reviewing the September 27, 2023 edition of AEW Dynamite as only we can. Of course, if you're joining us live here on a Thursday, 1:05 p.m. Eastern Time, or you clicked in to our AEW Dynamite review, you know I am joined by the man of 51,000 subscribers. You go to him for your TV and movie reviews, your honest criticisms of Tony Khan, and you go to him to dress like Tracy from season 2 of Atlanta. It is Jimmy Macram.
My wardrobe hasn't changed in 10 years. I do have some questions here.
Wow, you have notes this week. He's got legal writing paper this week, folks.
I do love writing in general. But what was I gonna say? We usually don't jump right into the show. Was there anything particular you wanted to talk about? I mean, in your head.
I mean, the only thing off the top of my head is that WWE officially announced that Jay Cargill has signed with the company. That's like the biggest news. We addressed the release news from this past week. What other big news do you want us to discuss? I feel like you're trying to kind of throw me an alley-oop for me to slam it down, but I don't know where you're trying to get at.
No, I'm simply asking a question in case you wanted to bring anything up. This is fair and balanced stuff we got going on here.
Yeah, but what would you like to talk about to start the show this week?
I'm just curious. We could talk about remember last week we were talking about AEW being part of the Max Sports thing. They're not. Mm-hmm. Of course they're not. Because Tony Khan is getting hustled. He's getting hustled. I'm telling you, he's getting hustled. I've never heard somebody talk more loyally about a girlfriend that doesn't really fuck with him like that than Tony Khan does WBD. It is shocking to me. We can talk about that. Or we could talk about we could talk about the Rampage ratings. And
why were we talking about the Rampage ratings again?
Because I want to talk about the massive drawing power of Matt Jackson. The fact that they did not move even half a fucking inch. Can we stop pretending that the Bucks are a draw, even to fucking AEW losers? Can we stop it, please? Not Nick Jackson's fault. He's doing what he can.
Yeah, it's all Matt. It's
not Nick Jackson's fault. He's been carrying his motherfucker for 20 years. But can we stop it, please?
So that's what you had to get off your chest? Are you done? You done now?
We don't want to talk about that? All right, fine. I don't have to talk about it.
We can talk about Collision. Did you like Collision this week?
I did like Collision this week. Very much so. Caden.
Uh-oh.
Caden.
I didn't get that low into the comments yet. You see stuff for me.
Because we've been down this road before, and it bit you all in the ass, and now you all pretend like it didn't happen. When it came to CM Punk and Dynamite. So I would suggest before you start flexing about CM Punk and Collision, you remember where the fuck you ended up several months after Dynamite. CM. I suggest you remember. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, I liked Collision. I liked it a lot.
Roxy saying, "Wow, Jimmy, this is too professional." He had legal tenor, like notes of what he wanted to discuss.
By the way, empty.
it just got the dents from the last page. That's all that's on that page. He just wanted to show it. Trey's giving you the reason why he wanted to show it. You know it's real when you get the legal pad. Yes.
Yeah, we can talk about Jade.
I think it's a big deal the way they rolled her out and then made the announcement, the first post TKO merger signing for WWE. ESPN made the announcement. She's had interviews with ESPN. The Ringer can give her the media rundown. Had her at the PC. Apparently they have things in mind for her on the main roster. So, what do you think?
I thought it was shocking how big of a deal they fucking made about Jade. I'm not mad at it. She is a star. She looks like a star. That's the most important point. For those of you who seem to think it's something fucking else, I'm not entirely sure what you think it is, but it's looking and feeling like a star. What was LA Knight's best match? Who gives a fuck? What the fuck are you babbling about? Oh, Jade can't wrestle. What are you talking about? What are these things you're mentioning? I don't know what these things you mention are. I don't understand why we have these discussions. They don't matter. I'm sorry, they just don't. And the ESPN thing was, to me, more important than the WWE treating like a big deal. Like,
yeah,
I don't know what they're gonna do with her, but I assume it'd be big. Sorry, I'm gonna turn these comments off. Because I fucking forgot. Because I watch SmackDown. I don't watch SmackDown in general, but I watched SmackDown this week. Whole thing, love the show, start to finish. That was a great show, particularly EO and Asuka. I thought it was great. But
yeah, that was a great match.
And I love my my narrative through lines, even if Jimmy Uso makes no real sense. That's not the point. The point is
this was his strongest week. I think we talked about it. I don't know if we saw each other.
He had a motive that makes sense to the rest of his fucking existence. Fair enough. However,
we're just gonna and like Jimmy Macram always says, we're taking it in a vacuum. This was a good week in a vacuum. We're not going to acknowledge the fact that this is the third time his character has changed in 8 weeks.
Yes, but this week, fucking solid. Bloodline and AJ Styles all the way through, Cena too. And then I thought what would have been perfect is obviously LA Knight coming in at the end. But apparently he got COVID. You know why? Because the wrestling gods are real. And because our people, quite a few of our people, thought that, not quite a few, I think it was 2 of you, Annika and some other psychopath, thought that Jon Moxley was on the same level as Steve Austin. The wrestling gods decided to spite me. That's what happened. They decided to spite me. And it's just like Moses. Moses didn't do anything wrong, but his people were fucking losers, so he didn't get to see heaven. So just out of pure spite, they gave LA Knight COVID, even though I did nothing wrong. And it's fucking egregious. And I'll never forgive you all for it.
I mean, you did go ham last week on John Moxley being compared and said that Steve Austin had Patrick Ewing knees. Yeah, that was one of your all-time great rants. One of your all-time great ones. I will say, because I was like, it's true though. He did have Patrick Ewing knees. He had the 2 knee braces on the machine. At that point,
Stone Cold can't sneak up on anybody. That fucking clicking. Clank, 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 clank.
Sound like it sound like the Laffy Taffy. The Laffy Taffy. Oh, Negro Bug saying, "Damn, Jimmy, we got Annika who says, well, good."
Absolutely. It's fucking ridiculous. No more blasphemy. That's all I ask. Steve Austin didn't die for our sins to have to hear his name besmirched.
Steve Austin died?
For our sins, yes.
Anything else you want to get to before we get into Dynamite here, Jimmy?
No, we can talk about Dynamite.
What did you think of Raw?
What happened to Raw? Judgment Day. Oh, right. More Judgment Day versus fucking KO on them. Jesus fucking.
We still got 2 more months, folks.
They should just, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I know we like putting things where they belong. AEW does way too much. WWE is doing it. Listen, we should do War Games at whatever the fuck's pay-per-view is coming up next. That should be where we do it at, and we can all move on with life. Please.
Yeah, I mean, Fastlane needs a hook. The only matches announced is Shinsuke Nakamura versus Seth Rollins in a last man standing match, which they're doing good work. It just feels so secondary because so much of the focus is on the Judgment Day.
Seriously, yeah, it's not a main event feud. It just isn't. And it has the main event if you don't do that War Games match. Which you should do.
Like after this week, I actually think the bigger mistake at SummerSlam was not putting the title on Finn Balor, not the Jimmy Uso heel turn.
Ooh, wow.
Because I have more faith. We have more evidence to give, like you said before, to give more faith to Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns to ride the course and fix that. I don't know how they are ever going to fix this. Like, this is now, we're in going into the 6th month of Seth Rollins' World Heavyweight title run, and it still doesn't even feel on the same level as the Intercontinental title on the same show.
No. Do we need to have a discussion about Seth Rollins not that guy anymore?
He's the workhorse. He's the workhorse, but I don't think he's ever been the number one guy. I've said this before. I was
Gunther's not the number one guy. Why does his belt feel more important?
Huh?
Gunther's not the number one guy. Why does his belt feel more important?
I think it's because when this is similar to what Seth Rollins did with the Intercontinental title back in 2018. In 2018, Seth Rollins, he could legitimately say, I'm the best worker in this company. Just give me the Intercontinental title. Give me guys to work with. I will have good to great matches. Now, he's not the best worker. The best worker is Gunther. And that's why Gunther's title feels more important than Seth's.
Fucking agreed. That's a fucking shame. Just put the belt on Gunther and move on life. I don't know why we need to hold off on these things that aren't working. Oh, by the way, what was I going to say? I read Becky's comments about Jade, which people were quoting as she's a star, but there was a lot more than that afterwards. Concerning who her husband is, it's ironic that she's very CM Punkish when she speaks. She doesn't really hold back her thoughts.
She gets away with it. She gets away with it, so I love it, and I love the fact she said that about the booking, like criticizing the booking, because she's the only one that can get away with that.
Yes, Britt, Jamie, Jade back in the day. It's your job.
Britt's the only one in AEW who can get away with it, but she's too much. She is John Cena. She's John Cena to AEW. Like, she will not say a bad word about them.
Yeah, it's fucking egregious. Why do you like Tony Khan that much? Anyway.
There you go, saying knees was held up by tape and a prayer. Guys, go says Stone Cold is the real little thing.
That Cal Williams special was fucking great.
Oh, that's great. Negro Bug says should have put the belt on Finn. Like, yeah. Annika saying agreed. I keep wanting Seth's opponent to beat him. Yes, like I love that. But I like with Nakamura after the first time, since you're dragging this feud out, after the first time, I don't believe it anymore. I don't.
No.
I think we're doing all of this for nothing because Nakamura's going to lose in the end.
Yeah, and like it was too little too late. Nobody really bought Nakamura as a challenger. But if he was going to win, it would have been the first time. It's not happening this time. Sorry, Charlie.
We have Trey Jones who says, "Can we talk about why Tony Khan put Phoenix and Jared in a match together instead of anybody else?" I think Jimmy is right. I was convinced when I saw that match announced. I was like, Jimmy might be right. Tony Khan owes Jeff Jarrett some type of money or something. Something's up. Something's up. Maybe he took like some plans from like old TNA Global Force, and now the pay up is that Jeff Jarrett can get. I counted it out, Jimmy. 6 title matches since joining AEW in November of 2022. It hasn't not even been a year.
In 2020 something, Jeff Jarrett's getting forget title matches 6
and forget 6. It's all in this year. He didn't get when he first came in. Remember, he was feuding with Sting and Darby. They kept him away from the title picture. And then the beginning of this year, you have the 2 matches with the Acclaimed for the tag team titles.
Right.
You have the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn 6-man tag team, the trios title match at the All Out 0 Hour. He had the match with Orange Cassidy for the International Championship. And I guess you can say the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Championship counts because he said he's a champion. And then this.
That's fucking egregious. Maybe Jeff Jarrett told him about the birds and the bees. You know, Tony Khan fucking figured that shit out till fucking 12 days ago.
Caden says, I think he's talking about Seth here. He says, I think the issue is Gunther, Cody, and Jay all feel more important. I'll give you Jay and Gunther. Cody, no, because they spent legitimately 3 or 4 weeks not knowing what the fuck they're doing with Cody. So yes, Seth feels more important than Cody right now because at least we know what he's doing and what he's involved in.
Agreed. You obviously left out everybody in Judgment Day.
Yeah, Judgment Day feels more important. Kevin and Sammy still somehow feel more important than him.
I can't believe I already want another fucking roster shakeup. Like, I just,
It's tough out here in the streets. This is just proof. Tony Khan and Hunter Hearst Helmsley is proof that can't do booking when you're one autonomy. You need like a collaborative piece. I think that Triple H has done very well with creating stars and getting over baby faces. But as far as like making stuff interesting and new every single week on Raw, we're seeing a struggle there. We're seeing a struggle with the women's division in general, creating stories that the fans are into. And SmackDown, we're seeing the struggles of making a heel turn too early.
I love how you're standing on this, even though there are quite a few people who don't agree with you. I agree with you.
I mean, there's a few people that don't agree with me, but it seems like more and more people jumping off that bloodline bandwagon. Except for Romeo, he's still dead on that hill he died on.
I wanted to ask you about the Tony Khan booking situation. Was that off the record? I forgot.
What?
The new setup.
Yeah. But I have said on air that there is going to be some type of change in separation within the Ring of Honor and AEW, and I think I did let it known on air that basically I heard a Twitter space with David Bixenspan, who was hosting, where he talked about how there's like a new format for how they're booking AEW, where it's kind of like Bryan Danielson comes up with ideas, Will Washington formats it, and then they give it to Tony Khan for the final say.
That's Collision.
Collision, yeah.
And Dynamite is still.
I would think that they're probably doing something similar on there because Dynamite, I feel, has been more kind of story driven than it has been as of late. So I would think that maybe like if it's not Brian, then it's probably Jimmy Jacobs.
Gotcha.
That does it on for Dynamite.
So I hate the way the show's formatted. You hated it. Hated it. Oh.
Well, let's talk about this show. Keep those comments coming in the live chat. And of course, if you want to show your support and make sure your comment is highlighted on screen, you can do that with a super chat donation. Any dollar amount matters. It helps out the channel.
Come on, money, nigga.
Helps us grow, and it goes to me and Jimmy, so you can always love that. And Jimmy Macram needs some money, nigga. So yes, last night's AEW Dynamite was from Broomfield, Colorado, just north of Denver. What did you think about the crowd last night for Dynamite, Jimmy?
Fuck them. They were fine. They were over mic'd at times. They were like really loud, particularly during who's talking? Was it Jay White? Yeah, like this. Why do they sound?
They were loud.
Yeah, they sound the same as Jay White. Like, what the fuck's going on here? Tell them what the fuck's down. I didn't come to hear them. Ugh.
He's like, I came to hear Jay White. What are you doing? But yes, let's get into the opening match on this card, which was for the AEW International Championship. Rey Fenix defending against Jeff Jarrett. These two men started off the fight right from the start, very early, as a fight broke out on the floor in entranceway. You get Alex Abrahantes is out there, of course, the rest of Jay Lethal and Sanjay Dutt and Karen Jarrett and Satam Singh. Of course, they would get involved because it's a Jeff Jarrett match, and we just expect that at this point. This match got a decent amount of time for an opener, going 8 minutes, 28 seconds. We get one moment where it looks like Karen Jarrett and the rest of the crew are going to interfere, and Aubrey Edwards basically pounces Karen Jarrett to the floor. Another point, Sanjay Dutt touched Karen Jarrett's titties. Yes, I did see that. In the end, the finish sees Jeff Jarrett go for the figure four, but Rey Fenix is able to reverse it into the Terry Funk, I think Jay Briscoe finish, where you go into the small package. 1, 2, 3. Rey Fenix retains the AEW International Championship. I was entertained. This was the Jeff Jarrett match. My bar is very low for a Jeff Jarrett match, so if it entertained me, it gets a thumbs up. What did you think?
My bar is not quite that low. This bored me. Because we know Jeff Jarrett's not beating Rey Fenix. So this is kind of irrelevant. At least not for the belt that he just won. Was Rey Fenix actually hurt? It looked like he might actually.
Yes. I think he got suplex on his side, so he was really favoring his hip. Because I was like, he could be selling, but Rey Fenix is not that good at selling. He usually forgets about selling maybe like 5 minutes in and starts doing springboards.
Absolutely.
And eventually he did do a springboard, but he was still selling the leg.
Yeah, so I imagine he was hurt. That was fine. You know what I mean? It's like, what's Jeff Jarrett's a Jeff Jarrett match? You've seen any of the last 20 years. You've seen all of them.
I'm sorry. I just get a great pop out of the same spot he does every match, where he hits the stroke and he's like, yes! It pops me every time. And Rey Fenix sold that stroke better than anyone. He did a top of the skull bump.
He decided that Jeff Jarrett was apparently the strongest man on the planet and decided to fucking flip him a complete 180 around his fucking neck. All right. Sure.
Right on the chrome dome. Right on the dome. There was quite a bit audio issues and production issues throughout this episode. Apparently, it was the TBS feed was doing like blackouts and certain like audio issues. Did you get that, or did you see another feed?
I did too. It was fucking embarrassing. TBS is just fucking. Where's the money going? They're always cutting shit on fucking Max and shit. Get rid of shows. They're laying off. What the fuck? Where's his money going? Some rich cocksucker on a boat. He's going to pay the writers now, so that's something.
There you go. Writers get paid more, but everybody else got to wait.
Yeah. Fire Mike Mansouri. Oh, wait, you said it was TBS's fault. Sorry. You can keep your job for a little while longer.
Keep your job for another week. Speaking of rich people on boats, next up we see footage from last week where Adam Cole injured his ankle, and then we see last week Adam Cole visiting MJF in Long Island, where they're going on a boat ride. And yes, MJF has on a captain's hat, and he apparently has stolen his dad's boat, but that rich schmuck doesn't need it. And Adam Cole gets on the boat. They're having a good time, but then MJF asks about Roderick Strong and being on the phone with him so long last week that he nearly missed his match with Samoa Joe. Cole worrying about him. He says that, he was just worried about him, and, despite everything, he's still his friend, and he's sorry about that he couldn't accompany MJF to the ring. MJF says, "Oh, okay. Well, can I get a wait here? I got to get another beer." He hands his beer to Adam Cole. I guess Cole realizes that the beer is probably completely full, and lifts his head up as MJF reaches into the cooler and grabs his Dynamite diamond ring. And I love the fact we could hear the audience, and the audience does the audible gasps, like, "Oh, it's gonna happen here." And Cole says, "Max, you didn't bring me out here to hit me in the head with the diamond ring and throw my body overboard, did you?" And Cole and MJF's like, "Oh man, yeah, you're crazy." Cole talks about. He says we need to talk about this, and he says that he has a need to have multiple friends, but that doesn't mean that he's less of a friend or doesn't care about MJF. MJF says, "Oh, okay, that's cool." He's like, having more than one friend is not for me, but if that's what you want to do, he said, I can accept that. Then he says, and anyways, the last time I threw someone overboard in the past, I've had to pay a big fine. And Cole is about to react, but then they get a bite from as they're fishing, and they got a big fish or a big show, as we see Paul White on a rubber ducky swimming out in the lake, get the hook caught in his mouth. You hear the crowd laughing uproariously to this whole skit. Then Captain Insano, because he's in his Captain Insano gear here, gets on the boat with MJF and Adam Cole and to share a beer, and he tells Better Than You, baby, that you're not so bad. And they laugh and they have a drink as we end the segment. What did you think about this Better Than You, baby, out of ring segment here?
This is not a main event storyline. It just isn't.
But it is.
The hell I will die on. It just is not. And every time they do one of these, I think the same thing. It just isn't.
Rock and Sock Connection was a main event.
No, they were not. No, they were not. Just because you feature two main eventers doesn't make it a main event angle.
Yes, it does.
Didn't even headline that pay-per-view. This was fine.
Hey, they headlined the biggest event in AEW history.
Yeah, my point exactly. Rock and Sock didn't. This nonsense did. What are we doing? Whatever. It's fun. It's stupid. It's cute, I suppose.
Why can't you like something funny?
I do like it. It's fine. It's like that girl. She's cute or whatever, but she's not wife material. Sorry.
You just don't like the fact that this whole MJF being a babyface is really working. I think that you have been against this from the very beginning, MJF as a babyface, and I think that's what's the obstacle behind this for you.
I just don't see it. I don't see it. It's just it doesn't feel right. I want my main eventers to be more serious than this. Sorry.
Got a boats and hoes reference in the chat here. We also got Trey Jones who says Maxwell jealous Freeman. And we have a super chat donation from the good brother.
Shit.
Kid get money is kid sends money. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. And of course, since it's a super chat donation on AEWramble, we got to give you one of these.
Listen up, you prick.
Oh, wait a minute. Shivani wasn't on commentary, right?
No, he wasn't.
I'll get back to that later. Shoot the chat.
We got Kid Get Money who says the way Ray Phoenix spiked his head from Jeff Jarrett's stroke reminds me of how the Jags season is going. Hopefully we get it together heading to London.
Yeah, it's been a rough one so far.
Yikes.
Well, it's almost as if the cons don't know what the fuck they're doing. Oh well. Somebody will learn eventually. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you.
Let them run their wrestling show. Stop running a football team because you're not good at that. We got Annika who says talk about simping MJF about to D'Angelo Cole because he has two friends.
For those who didn't see The Sopranos, it felt very much like Tony and Paulie.
Yes, he did. He did.
I probably should, but fuck it.
You know what? He's a good guy. He's my friend. Aubrey saying Jimmy a hater.
God, ma'am, or sir. Not entirely sure which. Stop it.
Frantic World saying this was so good and funny. MJF and Adam Cole are great. We have also Ace who says this was good. So everybody seems to enjoy it, except for you, Jimmy.
I didn't say I didn't enjoy it. I said it's not a main event angle. It isn't.
It is a main event angle. Main event invested in all of this. We got Don Callis and Konosuke Takeshita are in Tokyo last week, and they say Kota Ibushi isn't safe. They come down to the ring for an in-ring promo with Renee Paquette, and Callis says he wants to bring Sammy Guevara out, but first we want to see more footage of Callis and Takeshita in Japan. And apparently they invaded Kota Ibushi's gym. They beat up one of his freaking students. They hit Kota Ibushi in the head with a kettlebell, knocked him the fuck out, and then choked him with a jacket. Very Swerve and AR Fox-ish, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it because Don Callis is fully into his Bobby Heenan era of his career right now. Back in the arena, we get Sammy Guevara coming out with brand new Titantron in the vein of Scarface and dressing like a Miami drug dealer.
Looks like a broke ass Ricky Starks.
Broke ass Ricky Starks, what you doing out here? Sammy rants about how Jericho clipping his wings over and over again, and how Jericho tried to keep him down, and he waited for him to pass the torch for 4 years, but Don Callis taught him that was never going to happen, so now he's going to rip the torch from his hands, and he wants revenge at WrestleDream. Don Callis says that he has taken from Chris Jericho, Kenny Omega, and Kota Ibushi, and he's going to take again and take some more. The only thing he isn't going to take is the tears. I thought this was a good heel promo to get heat, but we needed some type of promo from Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho on this show. Like, I'm sorry, they're the biggest stars involved in this, or even a Will Ospreay. You needed someone on the show. So hopefully AEW addresses that on either Rampage or Collision this week. But I thought it was a good promo from Callis here. What did you think?
We've heard it before. Nobody cares about what the fuck Sammy has to say. We've seen the Don Callis to catch the thing already. We saw it with Swerve. This is kind of the issue with fucking poor booking. You think it costs you nothing, but it always costs you something. It's like, I'm thinking of a fucking outrageous example so people can get what I'm saying. Wrestling fans are idiots, so I gotta go big. You know what I mean? Okay, here we go. Ready? It's like fucking bringing Brock Lesnar back, fucking UFC heavyweight champion, and then having him lose to John Cena and Triple H. You feel like it's not a big deal, but then you have to sacrifice Undertaker's streak to put him right back where the fuck he should have been. You understand? So you think fucking doing the AR Fox fucking Swerve beatdown is a big deal. First of all, it was near attempted murder. It's still one of my favorites on the show. But then it ruins this, and you ruined it for no reason because AR Fox isn't even a heel anymore. Oh, it's so fucking egregious.
So you could have saved this whole thing for this.
Right.
Because at least this has a point, and I like it. I thought it was effective because Kota Ibushi was kind of just an outlier in this whole thing. He wasn't directly involved. He was more involved because he's Kenny Omega's best friend. And now we've given him a reason to want revenge on Don Callis' family.
Imagine you flew to Tokyo to murder somebody. That shit would have been amazing. Instead, this was kind of stupid. He flew to Tokyo to beat some guy up. That's weird.
No, he didn't fly to Tokyo just for that. He already was in DDT, but yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. That's a shame. Oh
well. We got another super chat donation from the good brother Trey Jones. Thank you so much. He says,
brothers today. Go ahead, brother.
He says, we don't care about Sammy. Simple.
Best $2 ever spent. Goddamn right. It's over. Just because you say people are your pillars, well, listen, admit your mistake, take your loss, and move on with life. I'd cut Sammy and Jungle Boy tomorrow. I'm sorry, I fucking would.
Every time Sammy is on the screen, Trey Jones, Jimmy, they just all
Tony
yell.
Khan! This is also on you! Because you can stop this!
and he is so good. Fuck
Oh,
was
man.
Eddie?
I mean, he deserved a day off. He deserved a day off.
What?
He has a bad back anyway. He has to be
What,
ready
nigga?
for
I just
he
need
has
you
to
to
be ready
talk.
for Sunday. Yeah, he does. He could have cut a promo on this match for Sunday. That's true. We also got here Caden, who says I didn't even watch the Sammy Jericho match. I went to the concourse. It was actually a good match. I actually liked the match. Frantic World,
like 3 3/4, I think.
that was a good match. It's a good match. Very good match. Frantic World says Don and Sammy got super heat from the fans. At least I rated it lower than Uncle Dave. He gave it 4.25. See, we're gonna do Grand Slam for the next In the Stars. For the next
How
In
can we
the
take this
Stars.
motherfucker serious? Does anybody take this guy seriously anymore? Just those losers fucking on fucking Wrestling Observer newsletter who vote on these shitty awards, throw Tony Khan as Booker of the Year. So just
Hey,
them.
Booker of the Year. Booker of the Year. We got
Shawn Michaels, by the way. I've been watching NXT last 2 weeks.
Michael Hickenbottom.
It's my favorite thing. It's so egregious. It's so much fun. Motherfuckers
So
just going nuts.
So stupid sometimes. It's just so stupid.
It's like he's fucking. It's like a Vince Russo thing. I just was like, oh shit, yes, all of this. Vince Russo with like less cocaine, I suppose. Just
The Braun Breaker, Baron Corbin is the Vince Russo shit. That's just brawl all over.
Ran into a car. It's the greatest thing ever.
And then Braun Breaker sat up after he got chokeslam on the. It's a girl says Jack Perry didn't do nothing wrong, Jimmy. LOL, just kidding.
Okay, let's say.
We got Trey Jones. He says Eddie is facing Rocky Romero on Rampage. They gotta say something for Rampage, you know.
Fucking why though?
It's Rampage, baby.
Admit it's a loss. Like you, it's like you listen. It did 360 something, 66, I think, before fucking the Young Bucks, and then the Bucks showed up last week. It did 371. Those mega draws
went up.
The mega draw that Matt Jackson and Hangman are. It's not Nick Jackson's fault. It's just what it is. Sorry.
We got Big Man Dogs. He says at this point, MJF is 3 of AEW's pillars, and Darby is the 4th one. Jungle Boy and Sammy are so far behind that it's kind of comical.
It's egregious. It's kind of embarrassing.
It's kind of sad. Next up, we hear from Ricky Starks following his Texas Death Match on AEW Collision, and he isn't bothered by his loss because Bryan Danielson still hasn't pinned him, still hasn't submitted him, so he got the better of Bryan Danielson in this whole situation. In comes Wheeler Yuta, who says that he wanted to apologize for trying to keep him back from shaking hands with Bryan. He didn't know that's what he was going to him for, and Ricky doesn't want to hear any of that. But Wheeler talks about how Bryan was able to keep him down and he stayed down for 10 seconds. But every day, Bryan beats him down and the rest of the BCC beats him down and he's able to get up. So let's see who's the better man between the two of us this Sunday at WrestleDream. And it is made official. Sunday, WrestleDream, October 1st. It is Ricky Starks versus Wheeler Yuta. I think this is leading to Ricky saying that I've pinned Bryan Danielson. Now I've pinned Wheeler Yuta. Gonna probably have a match with Claudio, leading to him to Jon Moxley. I think that was always the plan for the follow-up from Ricky and Bryan, and I think that's what we're going to go to. We're just going to take our time to go to it while Moxley deals with this mild concussion.
You think that was already the plan?
Yeah.
The Jade news fucking scared them a bit. Ricky's next, by the way. They don't clean this shit up.
Yes. Yes. He made that clear.
Yeah. I listen. Fucking, I get my ass beat every day is a wild thing to flex, but it works on some level for some reason. I don't know why. Wheeler does feel kind of tough. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe the bookings worked a little bit. I mean, it is one of my favorite things they've done. Is that original BCC Wheeler Yuta storyline. I kind of think they've eaten off that for the last year, however long it's fucking been.
It's been a year and a half now.
Yeah, time to find fucking a new click. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Starks need to win. Listen, doing the Austin fucking bread thing 3 or 4 fucking times is great. But eventually, you're gonna have to win some of these fucking matches, sir. Sorry. So Wheeler should be up next, and then if he beats Claudio too, that'd be great. Moxley being the big feud, I'm not mad at it. I can't think of anything for him to do. That's the weird thing of MJF being champion, is that it puts a lot of people in a weird spot.
Yeah. But they could revisit that now, the Ricky Starks MJF, because the roles have reversed.
Got a lot of people in line though.
They do. We got here. Well, I answered that one already. We got RP Jesus, who says, let's be honest, Ricky is more of a pillar than Jack and Sammy. I agree.
He's certainly better than they are with relative ease. But your pillar fucking can't get up and walk away, can it? Poorly built house.
That is true. We got a super chat donation from Caden Lee. Thank you, Caden. I did the Raw review with Caden on Tuesday, and I was saying
hurt
this
and I'm
afterwards.
old and I'm fucking tired, and I work with fucking children.
Did you guys enjoy the show? By the way,
Yeah, we both. I thought it was one of the better episodes of Raw because it had really good wrestling and it still had the show long narrative. It's just the same show long narrative we've seen a couple of times, but it's a little bit different now with Jay involved. Jay is involved. So.
Yes, the Drew McIntyre stuff is great. I love the way
yes. I love how they wove all those top programs into one. The Judgment Day storyline, the Jey Uso story, and Drew McIntyre's slow burn heel turn. I love how all of that is woven into one.
Very well.
That's why the biggest thing I can say about Seth Rollins is you just feel so mid-card, sir. You do not feel important here. Like I could have totally forgot your segment. And you made a last man standing match for the top title of the show.
Oh, poor Seth. He needs a break. But you can't because Roman doesn't work anywhere.
Caden with the super chat donation saying, can't wait for Adam Copeland on Sunday. Do you think that we see the rated R superstar Edge show up at WrestleDream?
Tell you, Bond, maybe. I know I don't care. I'm sorry. I just
want Edge to come in and be the lackey for Christian.
That is not happening. That could be amazing, though. Christian tries to treat him like that.
You came to my company, sir.
Listen, he comes in. There's some big programs he could do. I just haven't cared about Edge in a long while. Sorry.
That's fair. WWE didn't do much with him outside of he's back. Hey, yay. Let's do the same program we did 15 years ago with Randy Orton. Frantic World saying, I need Ricky Starks to join BCC. We also got...
No. Ricky Starks is a star. He's not a 1-2 tertiary star. Maybe number 3 to Moxley and Dragon. Absolutely fucking not.
Yeah. No. Yeah, we got Big Man Dogs echoing what you're saying. Ain't no way Ricky is joining BCC. We got Negro Buck who says Ricky versus Claudio would be awesome. I would really enjoy that matchup. And Negro Buck saying, oh, I would love heel Ricky versus face Mox.
I don't
I just want to hear. I'm here for the promos.
Yeah, I guess. I just don't. We'll get to it later. I don't love fucking face Max. I just don't. Sorry.
This is not the Max I fell in love with. You've changed. Next, we had a 3-way match to determine who would face Rey Fenix for the AEW International Championship on next week's 4th anniversary episode of AEW Dynamite. Nick Jackson going up against Claudio Castagnoli, going up against Brian Cage. And this feels like so random of 3 people to be involved in this matchup. But boy, oh boy, did this give us a fantastic match. I love this match just the styles of all these guys worked really well with it together. Cage going at it with Claudio in a battle of strength was great throughout this matchup at different points. Them trading off suplexes early on. Then you had Claudio trying to do a power move, and then Cage would do one, doing a crazy deadlift superplex from the apron to the mat. Then you had Nick Jackson just doing a crazy, amazing offense. Usually some of his double team offense, he was doing it all by himself on both guys. Then he hits a crazy 450 splash on Brian Cage for a near fall. The finish was absolutely great. As you have Claudio, he does the swing on Cage, which I thought was amazing to watch. Cage's big body be swung so easily, like he was able to do here. We get the apron superplex, like I said before, but Claudio's able to get up. He eventually gets the Ricola bomb, but then Nick Jackson comes in, does a sneak attack springboard Hurricane Rana to Claudio, taking Claudio out of the ring, and then steals the pin. This match just goes over 10 minutes, and Nick Jackson is now the number one contender for the AEW International Championship, and a matchup that I know we both love and have literally been talking about for 4 years, Jimmy. It's happening again next week, the rematch. Rey Fenix versus Nick Jackson from the 8th episode of AEW Dynamite to the 4th anniversary of the show. I always say Rey Fenix versus Nick Jackson from the November 2019 AEW Dynamite was Dynamite's first great memorable matchup. And now we get to rewind it back with title on the line. This matchup was awesome. What did you think?
Look at that graphic. Nick Jackson is an actual douchebag. That's the difference between him and his brother. His brother pretends to be a douchebag, and he's not a very good actor. Nick looks like he actually is an asshole.
So you're saying Matt Jackson's a good person? That's the best compliment you ever
good
said.
Person, there's a lot of room between good person and douchebag, sir. I just said he's not a douchebag. Match was good. I enjoyed it. I'm glad Nick Jackson won, mostly because of the Rey Fenix match. I didn't really care who won outside of Brian Cage. While that might have been the best match between him and Phoenix, nobody's going to buy Brian Cage winning. So I needed Nick or Claudio to win. I'm glad we're focusing on WrestleDream with this triple threat match. Very important stuff going on here.
Well, it does. This matchup set up for next week plays into WrestleDream because both teams, the Young Bucks and the Lucha Bros, will be involved in the Fatal 4-Way number one contenders match.
Why? Because there's people involved in that match? So this plays into it? That's not how that works.
They're both involved. They're both involved in the
matchup. And they're all involved in there. So it's kind of, yeah. Build up.
It works. It works for me. Yeah. Works for me.
You have somebody build a house and they go into a McDonald's because it's a building. Oh, it's just like a building. It's the same building. It's like working on my house. No, it isn't. I'm a little bit.
We got Negro Buck who says, I am once again asking for a Nick Jackson solo run. We also got Roxy who says, yes, this match was good. We got Big Man Dog saying they did Matt dirty by having both matches on the same card. We got Bala B who says, Nick, you're never getting a merch freak singles run. We also got Frantic Rose who says this 3-way match was really good. We also got Ace who says this match was very good. We got Rickety who says this match was good, but Nick shouldn't have won. I think he was the best choice. It plays into the whole anniversary show, and also, like I said, both of those guys are going to be in that 4-way at WrestleDream. So works on multiple levels, and the overall rivalry between the Young Bucks and Lucha Bros they've kind of built as one of the premier tag team rivalries they've ever done.
I thought I saw CM in the chat earlier. Is that true?
I think so. I think I did see CM. I don't know if I can go all the way back up again. But she only put one comment. Welcome back, CM. If you're still out there, we miss you. Jimmy misses his lawyer. He needs you.
Rough. Annika just throwing flame on the fire. The most outrageous takes that I've ever fucking heard.
Yeah, she said, well, damn, earlier when you were going off on something.
Welcome back, lady.
The
only black woman that we acknowledge.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay. You finally earned yourself a disclaimer. It's been too long.
The words
It's been
and
long
opinions
enough.
of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
I love that. And I get the blaspheme, and I get the guy that. What do they do that at?
Yeah, you get it. You get it. You get it, sir. We got Vala B saying Nick and Phoenix rematch. We also got Nero Buck who says, fucking finally we're running back Nick versus Phoenix. A lot of people seem excited for this matchup here. Steven saying typical EVP wins a match and gets a title shot.
Don't be so rude. I mean, listen. Who cares? It's for a worthless belt. That wasn't worthless 12 seconds ago. I'm not touching.
It's not worthless. The AEW International title they've actually built up.
That's not how it works. It only works if everybody involved is treated as a big deal. So like Orange Cassidy puts on this great run, and then Mox is supposed to put on. He doesn't have to put on a long run. He can put on any kind of run. But Orange Cassidy also has to be treated like a big deal, which he has not been because he's teaming with Hook for some reason.
Got a new best friend. He's got a new.
Just to get him on the card. Is that what it is?
Yep, get him on the card.
We
got Valaby pointing out only one after 45 minutes. Jimmy slacking.
Listen, I don't think I deserve this one. I'm doing my job. I am being productive member of society.
Sure, pal. Next up, we had a very interesting vignette here to promote the Righteous ahead of their Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championship matchup against Better Than You, Baby, this Sunday at WrestleDream. One thing in particular that I did notice, it was the men, the cutout men that they were holding. It was 5 friends holding each other's hands, and they talked about in the promo how it's better to be hated than to be loved by fake friends. And the friends, if you closed up on the cutout men, one of the cutout men have a neck brace on. Another one of the men has a word that says liar, baby. So I thought that was interesting for the overall plot of the show here. What did you think about the vignette from Righteous?
Goofy. They feel so low rent. Feel like a mix of this is a throwback, not even the good days, but it's the only thing it feels like a mix of Mordecai and Sean O'Hare. It's just I don't give a fuck about you people. This weird cult, like it just is all weird. I don't like it. It's not, and they're not interesting. I think it would be interesting. Being spooky doesn't make you interesting, to be clear. Oh, Midsummer Wyatt family. Yeah, it's just nah. I'm sorry. I'm happy for him. It's a big spot. They probably wouldn't have gone through if Adam Cole wasn't hurt. But hey, fuck it.
You got Valaby says, who gives a fuck about the Righteous? God damn.
Trey Jones does.
Huh?
Trey Jones does.
Hey, they did predict the future. They did predict the future, though.
What did they say was going to happen?
We're going to talk about it.
What did they say was going to happen?
We're going to talk about it. Rickety, I guess Rickety explaining his previous comment saying Cage should have won, but Jimmy explained why Cage shouldn't have won because no one would believe Cage was going to win next week.
Sorry.
Yeah. Like, that's the whole point. Like, I don't know. I don't understand why. Nick shouldn't have won. Cage should have won. But why? Like, next we have Adam Cole and MJF, Better Than You, Baby, coming out to the ring for a promo. And Adam Cole is on crutches, really selling the leg. We get Cole. They do their whole entrance with Cole having to sit on the apron for the boom. He even has to sit in a chair for them to do the regular in the ring entrance. And Cole lets us all know that he has some bad news and that he has broken his ankle in 3 different places and has torn ligaments, meaning that he's going to need surgery. He said when he jumped off the stage last week, he felt like his ankle exploded. So therefore, the ROH tag team titles have to be vacated. But MJF isn't about to vacate those titles to those freaky dicky douchebags, the righteous. MJF says he's ready to defend the titles. So this Sunday at WrestleDream, he will defend the titles in a handicap match on his own. He knows how much these titles mean to Adam Cole, so he wants to make sure that they still have them when he's able to come back. So he wants them to get healthy and come back soon. But then we hear Adam, 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 I really need you right now. It's an emergency. Cole, MJF says that he understands. He says even though he thinks that Roddy Strong is a is a simp, he says that he understands what Cole was trying to tell him on the boat, and he has learned. He learned that you can have more than one friend, and even though he doesn't like it, Roddy Strong is Adam's boy, so he tells him to do what you got to do, and MJF will be here waiting for him when he comes back. So Adam Cole hugs him and gets on his crutches and leaves the ring. We see as Roddy and the Kingdom are leaving that Roddy has a brand new wheelchair that says Hot Roddy, hashtag neck strong. I can't take this man seriously. Then MJF gets on the mic and he says he's not a big fan of, but he is interrupted by Bullet Club. The music of Switchblade Jay White. Out comes Bullet Club Gold, the Bang Bang Gang. And Jay White, he tells his team to head to the back. He's going to deal with this on his own. And he makes his way down the ramp. MJF is about to go in, but Jay tells him to shut up. He tells the crowd to shut up too. He says everyone has heard enough of MJF and everyone wants to hear his sweet, exotic accent for a change. Don't worry, when he came out, he could tell that MJF was a bit worried, but MJF responds and asks if Jay White has been smoking that Colorado gas. MJF gets a weed chant because of that. He then tells Jay that mid-mic work ain't gonna work with him, and that first shot was a bit hairy. Almost as hairy as the pubic hair on his chin that Jay calls a goatee. In MJF's career, he says that he's been compared to a lot of people. Sure, MJF is good, but he's no blank. And as his star rose, the names got bigger and bigger, and the goalposts got bigger and bigger, and it never bothered him until he read, sure, MJF is good, but he's no Jay White. He understands now why this bothered him. It's very apparent to him that he's filet mignon, and Jay White, he's tofu. MJF is filet mignon because no matter what's around the plate or no matter what else is on the plate, it's all about the filet, just like the show is all about MJF because no one is on the level of the devil. And at this point, when the crowd singing along with his catchphrases, I was like, oh, MJF is Jewish 2023 The Rock. As a baby face. It's all insults and catchphrases. It's all insults and catchphrases. At that point, it hit me like a thunderbolt. And I was like, this is why it's getting over so well, because it's a stick that works. Jay is very talented, but MJF says he's confused even the smartest of wrestling fans, making them think that he is also filet mignon when in reality, Jay is tofu. Funny thing about tofu is that it takes on the flavor of whatever you want it to, but you need to add something to it in order to trick yourself into believing it has taste. Jay has been given everything. Cool entrance, nickname, t-shirts, music, big match opportunities, handed the keys to one of the greatest factions of all time. But if you take it all away, Jay is left with nothing. Bland, tasteless, tofu. Jay is all hype. He is TV produced vision of what someone in Japan thought was a top guy. But take some advice from a real top guy, leave the ring. Because if you don't, for the rest of your career, whenever their names are mentioned in the same sentence, it will read as follows. Sure, Jay White's good, but he's not MJF because I'm better than you and you know it. At this point, the crowd is completely 100% on the side of MJF, cheering for MJF, even calling Jay White tofu. But Jay White says this is what he wanted. His own authentic, personalized MJF experience. But he's a bit let down. Jay thinks that MJF is a bit distracted, and he doesn't realize that everything that's going on around him is because of me. Because at Forbidden Door episode 1, it was me that beat up Adam Cole so bad that he had to go away for so long. And when he came back, he ran into you. You guys become best friends. Then you guys face at Wembley Stadium in the biggest event in history. He hurt your neck. But don't worry, you got some revenge back because he hurt his ankle because that was your fault. Because MJF said that. Jay has been ruining MJF's life from afar for a long while now. But he is up close and personal now to ruin it in the flesh. MJF calls himself the devil and no one is on the level. Well, Mr. Devil, he needs to find another level that doesn't exist in order to stop Jay from taking the title away from him. And funny how the AEW champion doesn't seem so elite when compared to Jay White, because he is the man that single-handedly sold out Madison Square Garden and the United Center. He is King Switch, baby. He is the catalyst of professional wrestling. He, not MJF, will be a truly elite champion. And when he peels that title away from MJF, then he can go sulk with all his loser pores because he's their scumbag. Jay tells MJF it's all of this will happen because he's gone soft and he knows it. MJF wants to show Jay what he is capable of. So how about he shows Jay right now? They start taking off their jacket and their shirt, but then Jay scoots away and bails out in a move very akin to what MJF would have done in the same similar situation. I love this segment because finally you have a heel that can play MJF games to MJF. It makes it very, very interesting. And this was the second time in a matter of weeks since like the Swerve and Hangman Page promo where I just got excited off of the idea of a program. I think that these are two of the best all-around characters and promo guys in AEW, and I'm very interested for where they go. I thought this first promo was very, very great. What did you think?
What? Seriously?
Yep.
Seriously?
Yep.
Pardon me. You brought up The Rock, and this is why I have Foley, Austin, I forgot who else ahead of The Rock. Because not Hollywood Rock, because that's the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. But if you've seen one Rock promo, you've seen most of them. He's got some home runs here and there, but usually monkey piss, alligator balls, or whatever the fuck. I got it. Something's going up somebody's ass. I get it.
But this is why I enjoyed this promo, because for the first time, someone didn't come back. Because a lot of times it seems like people try to come back at Max and point something out about Max. All Jay White did is like, no, this is who I actually am. Like you try to just break me down. No, but no, this is what I've accomplished. This is what I do. This is why I'm the big threat to you.
I liked it at the end. I thought Jay White's approach at the end was the way to do it. Most of this was just kind of here. It didn't help that it started with the Adam Cole and Roderick Strong stuff. Like, I might have cut that and saved it for later because it's a bit much talking for me all at once. I thought it was fine. I was happy. I'm sick, by the way. The contrarian, absolutely.
You are a contrarian. Like, how can you not enjoy this?
I didn't say I didn't enjoy it. That's not what I said. You said it was very good. I said I didn't think it was very good. It was fine. Jay White is.
I think it's because you're sick.
Absolutely.
You're sick. Nothing. Everything I say is like, oh no, it's just fine. It's just fine.
See this? He's got a white lady in his fucking thumbnail. You see how fast Negroes turn on each other? You see this? Sell us right down the river for some white skin. Ain't that a bitch? I'm joking. I love Rhea too. And we do awful things to her.
I'm not gonna front Annika. I did think that that's where they were going with this. That Roddy was gonna step in and be MJF's partner. I thought that's what MJF was gonna say. Since he's your boy, he's my boy too. He can be my partner at WrestleDream. I thought he was gonna say that. I'm glad they went the direction they did go.
Seriously? Listen, this was fine. MJF I thought was a little heavy-handed with Jay White. Jay White's character, though, I think that kind of rolls off his back. It kind of works. Whatever, sure, maybe.
It's like I got my own personalized MJ. I love how that's
a great line.
First words. Their first words was just that was the perfect response. He was like, I got my own personalized MJF experience.
That's a great line. The promo was fine. I just don't get why everybody thinks it was great. It's not great.
I think it's Jay White was the one that was great. I expect this from MJF. It was Jay White stepped into it and went toe to toe with the guy that a lot of people think is the best promo guy on this show.
I've seen so many people thought Jay White got cooked. I would lean closer to. I don't agree with that, but if you made me choose, I would choose that over Jay White. Impressed me.
I think Jay White won.
Wow. Okay. I'm not mad at that.
Because it was a different response to Max than we usually get. Usually someone's going to just overcompensate and try to go toe-to-toe on insults, which never works, really. It never really works, except maybe CM Punk. CM Punk's the only one. Ricky Starks, too, yeah. But we only got one. We only got one of those. It was special, and it was fantastic. But we should have got more. We should have got more of those.
Yes.
More of those.
Listen,
and even but we do see people that can stand toe to toe with him, like you said, Punk, Starks, Joe was another one that kind of went right back at him and went back with the insults. But Jay did not go there. Jay basically said, "I'm the devil on the devil's shoulder."
Yeah. Sorry.
You're such a downer.
I'm sorry.
Steven saying, funny Roderick still wearing a hospital gown. That and the commentary had me rolling with Excalibur and Taz explaining that he goes to different hospitals every city they go to get a different evaluation on his neck.
Was what happened to Shivani?
They said he was on assignment.
I didn't love the commentary this episode either, but fuck it. I prefer the two-man booth. So if we can keep that, that'd be great.
We got Trey Jones. It says, Hot Roddy popped me. Yes, that wheelchair was chef's kiss. Negro Bug saying, man, when Switchblade came out, I knew business was about to pick up. I popped. I popped when Switchblade's music hit. I was like, yes, this is what I want. Give it to me.
I think I'm tapping out on MJF.
I could tell.
I don't know why. I just feels kind of
because you only like him as a heel.
I don't know.
Even though he has not changed anything, he's just now the fans accept he's the scumbag. And he's proven to be a good heel. I mean, a good baby face, because the whole everything that went down as far as like first the video package with him understanding that you can have two friends, then learning from that and applying that and letting Adam Cole go so he could check on Roderick Strong, and then taking on both of the Righteous on his own. Those are all babyface moves.
That's not a cohesive fucking story. First of all, he didn't learn. How did he learn anything on the boat? Because Adam Cole explained to him the fucking obvious. Because he said something. He said something. He said something. He said to him already.
His whole friend thing is strange.
This is not new information. Adam Cole has said this to him already. He said it to him already. Why is this brand new? Because it's on a boat. Where did they do that at? And then the resolution is you team up with Roderick Strong. That's not fucking doing it by your own. Is exactly what the fucking character was to begin with.
But Cole has always said that Roddy is my friend too. He never really explained to MJF before this episode that it's okay to have two friends. MJF just realizing that it's okay to have one friend. It's very strange for him for a person to have more than one friend when he only has one.
Okay, so let's follow the logic here. Fucking Adam Cole tells him it's okay to have more than one friend, which leads MJF to do what? Say it's okay? Adam Cole has told him this already. This is not the first time that.
No, he did not tell him that it's okay to have more than one friend before.
Oh my God.
He just said that Roddy is his friend.
Wait a minute. He didn't.
He never said it's okay to have more than one friend. He just said that he has more than one friend.
Trey, would you stop it? You're repeating the same thing he's saying. He didn't know you could have more than one friend. Fucking Adam Cole just said Roderick is his friend before that. What does that mean? You're my friend and Roderick's my friend.
But he doesn't know that's okay.
That's more than one, ain't it?
He thinks that he's cheating on him, basically.
Oh my God. This fucking stinks. This stinks. I'm sorry.
I love how upset this makes you. This is like the best thing ever.
I don't mind if we just pretend.
It makes a whole bunch of sense to everyone but you.
This is Shakespeare because he knew he didn't know you could have more than one friend. But this is some brilliant shit. This stinks. Why are we pretending like it doesn't? He didn't know you could have more than one friend, and now he knows. So he's gonna fight them alone because he accepts. What the fuck are you babbling about? This stinks. Oh.
Negro Buck saying, keeping the theme of Jay White being the catalyst of pro wrestling. If it wasn't for him, there would be no Better Than You, baby. Love it. Yes, I love that. I love his whole explanation of that. That made a whole bunch of sense, and it was a MJF move to tell him that as well. We got Ace who says Jay White wasn't wrong about MJF. Trey Jones says then Jay White proceeded to cook the fuck out of MJF. Jesus,
I'm shocked so many people think so.
Yeah. I think it's clear that he won. It was built that way for him to win, but he did it more effective than like the Adam Cole first promo, where it was basically laid out for Adam Cole to win that promo exchange. I thought that MJF clearly won that promo exchange.
Oh, this nigga.
What?
Not you, sir. So you sometimes. Wallace, why do you even watch AEW? You know what? Why don't you? I'm be nice. Fucking nice. You watch me, motherfucker. Go watch somebody who slips this shit up. What the fuck is wrong with you? Hey, man, you like what we like, brother. Hey, what kind of hive mind ass nigga is this?
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
We all get together. We all eat. We're not gonna eat pork. We're not fucking with white women. You understand? We all need to think alike. You understand? Because that's when you know. Shut the fuck up.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
I have my own thoughts, sir, if you don't mind. I don't like what people tell me to like.
All of that, you then said it the most polite way you could. My own opinion, sir. Fancy Girl saying Jay White started this MJF Adam Cole storyline. He is telling the truth. Yes, he is. He is the catalyst of professional wrestling. That's what he does. Trey Jones saying Jay White turned into Jay-Z.
Fucking, I love Jay White. I love his aura. I'm here for Jay White. But I didn't love the promo. Is that okay? I thought it was just fine. Is that all right? Is that okay with you all? Did I just think something's fine?
Did it? Okay, the better question. Did it feel right for Jay White to be in this program with MJF?
Yes.
So you're saying AEW recovered from the poor first 2 months of Jay White's run?
Yes.
Okay. As long as we had to get that established this episode. We had to get that established. We do have a super chat donation from the Negro Buck, Nick Jackson, and he says everything Jay White says comes true. He does. That is why he is the catalyst of professional wrestling. Ladies and gents, just is what it is.
They go on Twitter. I don't see how this is going to work. This is absolutely ridiculous. Send.
Ridiculous.
I just wanted to play that one. I don't even know why, but thank you, Negro Bug, for the super chat donation. Appreciate that. We got Annika who says Jay White shimmy was everything. We got Frantic World who says main event Jay White is here, Jimmy. We also
Brock Lesnar just beat the Undertaker. Took us back to where the fuck we should have started. Thank you. Appreciate it.
I will say, Annika, this show did have a lot of talking, but I kind of prefer that for a go-home show.
Yeah, I would agree. I thought most of the talking, particularly in the upcoming segment, was great.
Yes.
Got this makes me sick.
This was great as well. Don't listen to Jimmy. Roxy saying, I agree. White came out looking so unbothered. Yes, he knew what he was coming out for, and he was gonna get under MJF's skin and then leave him stewing. And how many times has MJF done that to someone else? That's what made this so great. So great. Trey Jones saying, what? You had something to say? Oh, okay. Trey Jones saying Jay White was spitting like rent was due. We had Ace who says Jay White loves to play the mind games. And then Trey saying Jay was like, check my resume, boy. Yes. Yes. Basically, he was like, let me run down my resume real quick. Because you fucking with the wrong one.
Very true.
We got Trey Jones explaining, but MJF never had friends before. He doesn't know you can have more than one friend. Yes, thank you. Jesus, it's not a hard concept.
Listen, we're not doing this.
Finally got to Wallace's comment. Yo, shout out to Wallace. You gave us the best moment of the episode.
Who says triggered unironically? This thing is triggered. Have you ever used that in real life? Have you ever said triggered in real fucking life? This nigga is triggered. Osama bin Laden face. If you don't get out of here.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
Hey. Jesus. I've never seen him before. Welcome.
Welcome. I was like, he says it after the fact. Yo. Oh, we got a super chat donation from the good brother, Will Chisholm. Thank you so much, Will. Appreciate the love, the support, and everything. He says, SP3, Britt being John Cena is on point, but at least Cena in the public act like he didn't take shots. Britt can't help herself. Yeah. She didn't get that same media training Cena got.
Cena was like, me? What did I do? I'm the good guy. Right.
Not me, him. Yeah, that guy. Just to pop Jimmy and to put his weapon in hand too. And Blackpool Combat Club, they better wear out Kenny as long as they can. Hangman's gonna come out here.
Steve Austin, absolutely.
Steve Austin's S-Stomps. Next up, we had another great promo segment as JR sat down with TNT champion, now official TNT champion Christian Cage, alongside Darby Allin. We get JR congratulating Christian on officially winning the TNT championship, and Christian says, "What are you talking about? I retained my title on this past Saturday. I've been champion for quite some time now." JR asks, "What makes Christian think he can beat Darby in 2 out of 3 falls?" And Cage says, "Darby's wins were flukes and non-title." He says that I wanted a 2 out of 3 falls matchup to prove I'm the better man. He did not want this. We literally saw him being told that he was having a 2 out of 3 falls matchup. He said he wants to prove he's the better man, and he says he will walk out of Seattle champion, and Darby is nowhere near the man or wrestler that Cage is. Cage uses chairs, tables, but he actually wrestles as well. And Cage will expose him in front of his family and friends. And speaking of those, he says, "Is Darby's uncle going to be there?" Oh, right. Sounded like a great guy, taking his 5-year-old nephew out while intoxicated. And what happened? Darby says he's dead. Everybody you talk shit about is dead. Nice. Darby says he won't lose in Seattle, and Christian can't beat him in Seattle. He's won that title in Seattle before, and he'll do it again. Cage then tells Darby to bring everyone. Bring his whole entire family. Bring your mom, your dad. Bring Nick Wayne. Bring Nick Wayne's mom. You know what? I'll call her personally. I'll invite her myself. Bring them all. Bring them all. Darby tells Cage to leave his pet dinosaur at home if he has the balls. If I can do it all on my own, I hope you can as well. So don't bring Luchasaurus. Cage tells him that Wayne needs a real mentor and not some face-painted dude hiding behind it. And Darby finds some water to expose his face. He pours the water on his face and he says, "You think I'm trying to hide myself? You think I'm scared of you? Think I'm trying to hide from you?" Cage says that he doesn't need Luchasaurus to show the world what Darby really is, and Cage will be champion now and forever. Get used to it. This was fabulous. Christian Cage, my lord. Christian Cage might be in my top 10 wrestlers of the year. I love this character. I love this character so much. I don't want it to end, but I'm scared that it might be this Sunday. What did you think about this sit-down interview here?
I do think it ends this Sunday. We don't have, especially if it goes on last, which it very well might. This is great. Christian has been great throughout, as you mentioned, this year in particular. This fucking supervillain character he's developed is fucking splendid. Saying he'll call Nick Wayne's mom is wild. Got even a reaction from JR. Really? Yeah, it's fucking
he is a gaslighter. He is when he said I wanted a best 2 out of 3. I was like, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. You literally were like, what? No, I don't want that.
He dead ass said it. And with a straight face, not playing it up like a wrestling line. He said it like a real person would say it. I wanted this. Yeah.
I retained my title this past Saturday. What are you talking about? I've been champion for quite some time.
I loved it. Darby was fine. He's really improved, especially compared to where dummies Sammy and Jungle Boy are. Darby's improved by leaps and bounds. But Christian obviously the star here, and I actually look forward to the match on Sunday.
They had a great match on Collision a couple of weeks back, and you would think best 2 out of 3 falls in Darby's hometown. This is just this card is stacked with potential match of the night everywhere with Bryan and Zack Sabre Jr. This matchup, FTR and Aussie Open, they've had bangers in the past. That's going to be great. The trios matchup with Don Callis family and Omega, Jericho, and Ibushi. So yeah, looking forward. And Hangman and Swerve.
Yeah, I can't really take the FTR match seriously. Aussie Open just losing 7 minutes on the fucking
dude. I've been complaining about this. Don't get me started. You're gonna get me started because it makes no sense that the Sex Gods broke up. And you gave Austin Open an AEW World Tag Team title. The plan was to break up the Sex Gods and Aussie Open to get a shot at your top tag team titles, and you had the Sex Gods win. What? I've used every platform I've been on to complain about how dumb that booking is.
It's horrendous. It's shocking to me. Well, not shocking. Dummy's an idiot. But it's a terrible idea.
We got Steven Chambers says, like Christian Cage heel character, won't be surprised if Darby wins the TNT title. The only thing that will make it okay is if Christian gives us one of those classic Christian breakdown upset that he lost the title, and then we hear, "You think you know me."
Oh shit.
and Edge comes out and we get some type of interaction between them. So we know they already have what Christian's doing next already planned.
I could see that closing the show, actually, when I think about it.
Yeah, it's either this is another thing. Darby versus Christian feels like a lot like Eddie Kingston versus Claudio at a Grand Slam. It's either closing or it's opening.
Yeah, I can't see what else it would be. They don't really have a main event on the show.
Brian Zack Sabre Jr. I think it's gonna close.
Yeah,
because it's Brian's home state.
You think that's? Oh, right.
Yeah,
I was gonna ask if you thought that was on the level of Dragon and Okada. So I said I don't.
I think it's gonna be better actually.
Why? Because he has 2 arms.
That and the fact that their styles are just so similar. We're gonna get something akin to Benoit Angle between those two guys. They're just like the technical wrestlers, and it's just gonna be a technical wrestling type of matchup there.
Okay.
We got Negro Buck who says this was a really great promo. Christian is in his bag. He's doing the best character work of his career, which is amazing for someone who's been in the business 30 years.
I forgot who said it, whether it was JR or Austin. Somebody mentioned how Edge is a really good guy in real life. And that's why he's a good babyface. And Christian's kind of an asshole, which is why he's a great heel. And I went, I can see that. I can buy that completely.
I can see that too. Oh man. Well, we got Leo in the chat who says, I am convinced that the masked men that jumped Jaya White were my uncle Savio Vega, SP3 friend Dutch Mantel, Tony Atlas, and of course led by the great Bad News Brown.
This is very random. All right.
We got Wallace back with us, and he's got something. He's not trolling Jimmy anymore. He says SP3 Christian can't lose. He's gonna lose. This is Tony Khan MO, Wallace. He always books the baby faces to win in their hometown. Darby even foreshadowed it, and he's taken a bunch of losses. He lost the matchup against Luchasaurus at All Out. He lost against Christian this past Saturday on Collision, and you can still continue the story. I just rather had the story had been the triple threat at this show and Darby win, so we could say. So I really wanted Christian to be like, I was never pinned for my championship. I really wanted that promo. I wanted that promo so much with a passion, Jimmy. I did.
I think he's my favorite character right now. I gotta be honest. I'm trying to think of a second. I think it's him. It's just he's so great.
He just is. He just is. Next, we had a fatal 4-way matchup previewing the 4-way tag team #1 contenders match for this Sunday at WrestleDream. You have Orange Cassidy coming out with Hook. You got Matt Jackson, Penta El Zero Miedo, and Austin Gunn. This was just a fun, like PWG style matchup. Whole bunch of crazy spots. I love the one of the finishing sequences was Austin Gunn refusing to do Canadian Destroyers while everyone around him did Canadian Destroyers, while he seemingly was trying to do a pedigree after doing the shake, rattle, and roll earlier in the matchup and kept getting body dropped. So we get Penta with a destroyer, Matt Jackson with a destroyer, Orange Cassidy with a destroyer where Matt Jackson stands on his head. Austin Gunn hits his finisher and gets a close near fall. In the end, after a whole bunch of spots, whole bunch of super kicks being traded off, Orange Cassidy comes in and hits the orange punch on Matt Jackson. 1, 2, 3. Orange Cassidy gets the win, giving him and Hook momentum ahead of WrestleDream. I thought this was a bunch of fun. I had a good time watching this one. What did you think?
It was stupid, fun AEW match. You know what I mean? I can't really complain because this is actually what I expect. This is what I expect these matches will be. Matt Jackson took the win. I took the loss, rather. He took the pinfall. So all is right with the world, at least for 10 minutes at a time. I will fucking take it, I suppose.
Who do you think wins the 4-way on Sunday?
Who cares? Like, I don't mean to be rude. Gives a fuck.
I think the Bucks win because I think they're doing Bucks and FTR again in Los Angeles.
Do we have to? Can we wait another year like we did this time around? Do we have to do Bucks FTR again?
Yeah.
I mean, if all the matches have been great.
The Bucks got to win because the Bucks got to win. Yes. Because then 2024 is building to who who wins the stalemate? Because then it would be 2-2.
This is ridiculous. Who wins a stalemate? 3-3. Who wins a stalemate? 4-4.
Best of 7. No, it's like when you lose in pool, you're like best of 3. Then you lose 2, you're like best of 5. Then you lose 3, you're like best of 7.
Come on, man. Enough of this.
Yo, okay. Let me just start this off by saying this match surprised the holy hell out of me of how good this shit was. Next up, you had Julia Hart going up again. I enjoyed this so much. I enjoyed this a lot. First of all, her entrance freaks me out because the lighting background, it looks like your TV is messed up. It's crazy. But yeah, Julia Hart versus Willow Nightingale. The crowd got behind them in this one. Julia Hart was hitting all of her stuff really good. And Willow Nightingale, I love the fact that she had like this more aggressive style coming in after the Black Mist was spit into her face and she was blinded in one eye, even though that was a very poor job of protecting her eye because it was easily exposed by Julia Hart very early on. She had the ugly black eye. But I love her barking like Brody King when she hung up Julia Hart. But hanging up Julia Hart literally put her in her happy place. That is the place where she goes every freaking matchup. So this was the downfall for Willow as Julia moved out the way of a cannonball, got up to the top rope, and hit a beautiful moonsault press. 1, 2, 3. This was a very fun sprint. Julia Hart looking strong, getting the victory here. After the match, she applied Heartless to Willow Nightingale until Chris Statlander came out to make the save. This Sunday, it will be Julia Hart challenging Chris Statlander for the TBS Championship. I thought this was very effective, put over Julia Hart. And I love the dynamic of Julia Hart and Brody King, where you look at those two and you would think Julia's the handler, Brody's the monster. But how they've been booking her since this TBS title reign, TBS title feud started is Brody is the handler and Julia is the monster. I love that they turned that on its head. I think it's great booking. Some of the best booking for any woman they have done Julia Hart so far.
Relatively easily.
What did you think?
Really good. Julia Hart is a star. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Her entrance is great. Her look is great. She's improved by leaps and bounds in the ring, unlike the Anna Jays of the world.
Dude, the Varsity Blondes are this generation's TNA. They got Marty Jannetty by their manager.
That's hilarious.
Come on. Trish is a bigger star than Teston Albert. And what seems like right now, Julia Hart's a bigger star than Griff Garrison and Brian Pillman Jr., even though we got the first vignette for Brian Pillman Jr. on NXT this week.
Let's say Shawn Michaels might put some work in, but be careful. Yeah, she was great. I love this match. Willow, you know how I feel about Willow. She was splendid in every way. I don't know about this Black Mist in her eyes, making her possibly. No, don't do that. She's a perfect babyface.
Yeah, I agree.
Games. And more importantly, I love Statlander. You know this. We need to at least consider putting the belt on Julia Hart. We need to have a discussion.
I agree. I do agree. We do have to have this discussion because we've done such a great job with her, and it seems like she's getting over as well. So,
yeah, she's fucking great. Fucking, why are we waiting? Fucking, just put her on her. Fuck it.
Unless this is leading, I think the only possible solution, if it's not Mercedes coming in to go after Saraya, is if this is leading to Chris versus Saraya, champion versus champion.
Why?
Because Chris Statlander is the best champion. Saraya doesn't even need to be champion at this point.
Sure, I'm down.
We got Frantic Girl talking about the four-way, saying that was a four-way matchup. And saying, let's talk about it. SP3 talking about the women's matchup. This women's match was really good, says Negro Buck. Trey Jones says Willow was beating Julia's ass in the beginning. She was.
That's a visual and a half.
That pounce, though. Yo, that shit looked like she got hit by like a car. Like it was like the way Julia sold it, where it looked like her whole body got indented. And she was dying. I was dying. I loved it. This was the best reaction for a women's match as well on Dynamite in like a few months, it feels like.
That's to be expected.
We got Steven who says Statlander versus Hart is going to be a good matchup. We also got Roxy who says, I hope this continues to push Julia. She's improved so much and she has the look and personality. Yeah. She's gone a complete 160 from what she was in Varsity Blondes.
Yeah, she has, I'm not sure how old she is. I think she's 21, 22, something ridiculous.
21. She's 21.
She's got her head on straight. She is very good. She feels committed.
Julia's we got Wallace who says Julia is a star on the rise. We also got
good take.
We got Negro Buck who says, I love the Julia and Brody dynamic. Yeah, like that came to me last night. I was just like, yeah, that makes a whole bunch of sense. Especially after that promo on Collision where Brody cut the promo for her. I was like,
wild. It was like, yo, this and that. Those guys feel like they would go upside the bitch's head if they had to. That's why it works. You better back the fuck up. Brody King don't play that shit.
You got Frantic Girl saying Willow acting like Brody King was so good. Yes, she just started doing the barking like.
It's not just a woman. It's an impossibly tiny woman at that. It's just hilarious. It's perfect.
Oh, we got Negro Bug saying, damn, SP3, that's crazy. Yeah, about their whole dynamic. I think that's what he's talking about. We got Negro Bug who says, yeah, I'm with Jimmy. Please don't do that.
Don't turn. Can't turn Willow. Please don't do that.
No. Trey Jones says, Julia as the TBS champion has me interested. It seems to have everybody interested. This is probably the most comments we've seen about a women's matchup on an episode of Dynamite in like been a while, guys. It's been a while, so we appreciate that. Steven saying, guessing Thunder Rosa returns at WrestleDream. Going after Chris? Going after Statlander for the TBS title? That wouldn't make sense. It makes more sense her going after Saraya for the Women's Championship. Women's Championship she never lost, so.
Yeah.
Polish Jet says, I wish there was consistency. Some people turn when misted, others don't. Sky Blue was also sprayed, but did not turn. We don't know. We don't know what's happening with Sky. Sky Blue just got misted on Collision. And we did see it. Pretty much everyone that gets misted comes back a little bit more aggressive and violent. It's not always them turning heel.
Yeah, because Pat got misted and he didn't turn. At least not from that.
He just turned into Daredevil for a little bit there.
Yes, got both his eyes gouged out in the greatest angle ever that they refuse to acknowledge.
Why are you doing this to me? We also got Wallace who says, I kind of agree, but remember Chris was the only one to beat Jade. I think they should capitalize on that. I think that Chris in the end should retain the title though. Yeah.
No matter.
And then finally
you got a big fucking orange ass.
Oh yeah. My bad. You're right. I had that highlighted and I forgot to click on it. But Will Chisholm with a huge super chat donation. Huge. Thank you so much, Will Chisholm, one of our members, one of the great people that supports us. So we got to give him a good one of what Tony Khan is usually sitting at home while watching.
Serious. I'm not going to sit back and take this fucking shit.
He says, Tony Khan, how WWE made Jay look like a star. He started throwing up, saying, what? It's just a black woman. No big deal. I'm going to get Mercedes Moné to fool my fans that I like women. He hates EO versus Asuka time.
Holy shit. That is what? Oh, sir.
Started throwing up. Throwing up. It's just a black woman.
What? It's just a black woman. No big deal. Holy shit. That is a rogue take, sir. That's my favorite take ever, I think. I don't disagree with this take. I will say.
I can't say the take is far off.
I can't say
that.
Definitely. We know. We know the Mercedes Moné thing. Yes, you know what it is. You know what time it is. You know what time it is. Same time it always is. Here, look at this. While I do this over here. This is fucking nonsense.
Flair. He's like, look at that flare. Let me give the woman 5 minutes. No one will notice. No one will notice. Here's Ray Phoenix. He's flying everywhere. The woman get 2 minutes.
I love Banks, Mercedes. I really hope she doesn't sign. Ma'am, you deserve so much better. Listen, we had a marked improvement on the show. We'll call it a win, but yeah, you deserve better, ma'am.
We need more consistency. Even though I will agree with Frantic World here, he says the numbers for the women's matches have been doing really good as of late. TK needs to keep putting more love into the women's division. He had that week where you had the Rampage main event with Jade and Chris, and then Chris versus Britt Baker. Those did the Britt and Jade. I mean the Britt and Chris Collision episode. Last week's Collision did really good with Bryan Danielson and Ricky Starks on the show. Jay White versus Andrade, FTR in a title match. It was Julia Hart versus Kara Hogan that had the highest quarter hour on the show.
Can I explain that?
I think it's Julia Hart. I'm gonna say I think Julia's been actually doing well in the ratings, the numbers wise. So
I think we do underestimate how much just a visual fucking gets people to stop what they're doing. I told you I was watching Smack at my mom's house. When Asuka came on screen, she was like, what the hell is going on here? It's just something about seeing people who look so distinctly different. And Julia is one of those people. I hope it continues. She's a star. God damn it.
She is. She has an aura to her. Then finally, we closed out this go-home edition of AEW Dynamite with Hangman Adam Page and Swerve Strickland signing the contract for their matchup coming up this Sunday. Hangman comes out second. Screw Swerve Strickland because he denied us the Prince Nana dance. He said not until we get to Seattle. We got security around the ring. Everyone has been banned from ringside, the Elite, the Mogul Embassy. Hangman is the first to sign, but Swerve laughs a bit. And he says he's been impressed about the fire Page has been had recently, but he says it's a little too late, though. They're 4 days away. Better be prepared on the approach rather than the landing. Does Page understand what's happening? This is the Lion's Den, man. He doesn't think Page understands. There are two competitors that couldn't be more opposite. He is nothing like Page. He will never be the wrestler Page is. What's a farmer to a mogul? What's a cowboy to an outlaw? What's a buckshot to a kill shot? Love that line. Yeah, he was spitting. He was spitting here. What's a king to a god? I know what you're doing, Swerve. Page responds and he says that it sounds like Swerve is fired up, and he should be. A few weeks ago, he said some things that stung a bit in the moment, but he's had some time to think about it. He wants to thank Swerve. All that he pointed out, the gear, the t-shirts, something is up with Hangman. He knew it. For a year and a half, every day, he would come to work and he felt there was a little black cloud named Phil he could never get rid of. Sure, the sun would shine. He beat Moxley. He reunited with his friends in the Elite. He knew he had that cloud, though, but he never opened up an umbrella. He weathered the storm. He's still here. Through that downpour, it washed something out of him. And now that he's had time, he's come to the realization that these people deserve more from him, the best of him. He deserves it too. So that's what Swerve will get in Seattle, the best of Hangman. Hangman signs, and then Swerve laughs his ass off. He says, beautiful. He then says that was more pathetic than the Denver Broncos last weekend. And thank God Seattle got rid of Russell Wilson. He's y'all problem now. Love the cheap hometown heat. It's great. Great stuff. He says this isn't as personal as Hangman thinks it is. He could have been anyone. It just happened to be Hangman in the position that Swerve wants. He really just might have mental issues because he makes an enemy out of someone every day. This fools him to be in Page's position. He will take this position from Hangman and it rains an awful lot in Seattle, Hangman. Page says Swerve wants his spot, wants to be in the main event. If he had the chances Page had, Swerve said he would have been the first black AEW world champion, right? Maybe the only thing Page can do is to live their lives in a way that the generations after don't have to ask that question of themselves. We could talk about opportunities all day, but for everyone he ever got, he knocked it out of the park. Swerve should want his spot, but he don't got what it takes to fill his boots. Swerve slaps Page across the face. Hangman grabs a pen and stabs Swerve in the hand. Nice. Then security gets into the ring to hold back both men as we close the show. Oh, so we thought. We hurry up to the backstage area where 4 masked men are attacking someone. We then close up, the camera gets close up, and it's revealed to be none other than Switchblade Jay White. And then a 5th man gets the camera pulled up on him, and one of them are wearing the infamous devil mask of MJF, and he grabs the camera as we fade to black. What did you think about the Swerve Strickland, Hangman Adam Page contract signing, and then the close to the show with the masked man attacking Switchblade?
You know, like Hangman. That was some real hoe shit, my nigga. That was some real hoe shit.
That's a good babyface promo.
That's hoe shit. That's, first of all, you remember you started all this, right? And now you're gonna black cloud me, like, yo. Some motherfuckers don't learn their lesson. They just never learn it. He's a teacher. He never learns the lesson. Fuck it.
Teachers teach lessons. They don't learn them.
Clearly. I hope fucking Ricky Starks with Darby or fucking it's Dax goes upside his fucking head. This was good. This was really good. I enjoyed it. I must say, Swerve feels like a star to me. And
this was a great segment in getting over both guys' characters. I thought this was like some of the best promo work as far as like we now know who both guys are. Like Swerve, he can't go through a day without getting someone upset with him. That line, I was like, yo, Swerve is so great. This new Swerve, ever since he got thrown into a coffin, he's been fantastic.
Yeah, they did what it's supposed to do. I mean, I don't know if I like this closing the show. Well, it didn't technically, I suppose, but you know what I mean. That's fine. As far as the attack afterwards, I thought that was interesting. A nice change of pace, something they don't usually do. I'm going to assume it's Adam Cole and company. It only makes sense. Actually, it does make sense. Why would they attack fucking Jay White? Maybe get some heat on MJF.
Yeah,
I don't know. We'll see.
Framing him because if you remember the segment that they cut after their matchup at All In that played on Dynamite, MJF's devil mask was in Cole's locker. And also when the camera zoomed in on the guy in the devil's match, they got him from the waist up. We didn't see if he had like a walking boot or anything like Cole had on. And one of the guys, very clearly when you zoom in on them, has a neck brace on.
I can't tell if that's a great idea or a terrible one. But if so, it's cute, I suppose.
But there's 5 of them. That's the question. There's 5 of them. There was 5 of them. So who would be the 5th guy? So I've heard some people online who said maybe it's Wardlow, maybe it's Kyle O'Reilly. So I don't know. It is very intriguing.
Max is going to spend next week's playing denial. It wasn't me, my brother. It was Boy Howdy. I know who it was. It's when I fell in love.
Yeah, Dre explained it. That's why they would attack Jay, because Jay concussed Cole.
Oh, it could be fun. I am intrigued. I'm very intrigued. So that's what I'm saying. I don't want the character to switch up too quickly. Because Max should not be spending the next couple weeks giving half of a fuck that Jay White got attacked. Okay.
Yeah. He should not care. He should not care.
It wasn't me, but so what?
Yeah, he shouldn't like be like over the top with the denial. Just be like, I didn't do it. If I wanted to attack somebody, I would reveal it's me. Like, I want the credit.
Yeah, it could be fun. I'm curious. Yeah, I don't see Warlow, sir. Like Warlow's gigantic.
That is true.
None of those guys were pause.
Frantic Girl says Jay White got jumped like rabbit from 8 Mile.
It's a hell of a reference.
We got Negro Buck who says, I'm going to start referencing CM Punk's time in AEW to Hurricane Phil. Black Cloud Phil.
Yeah, like the fuck are you even doing? Why, sir? Jesus, so this fucking super chat's coming from. I'm not complaining. What the fuck?
I love it. Trey saying Swerve is on fire right now. I bet TK is.
We did bring up Wardlow, which is obviously the most egregious one. Oh, somebody mentioned, I think it was Big Dog. Fucking Malachi Black's back is not hurt.
No, he does have a bad like bite. He said he has a bicep tear. Yeah, that's why he's out right now.
Yeah,
but he doesn't know why he hasn't had a singles match. He did specify that.
We do, don't we?
Because Tony's not good as a child.
Yeah. I'm shocked fucking Malachi Black doesn't know that. The fuck? Yes, sir. What the fuck are you on about?
We got another super chat donation from Che Jones. Thank you so much, Trey. So you get one of these.
But don't push me. That's Tupac.
Oh, I miss you so much.
Absolutely. He says, put the belt on Swerve already. Swerve felt like a main eventer in this segment.
He did. But he's well behind the line. We got to get through Jay White. We got to get through Adam Cole. We got a long way to go.
Indeed,
sorry, Charlie.
Indeed. We have Negro Buck who says none of them were big enough to be Wardlow. That is true. And Will Chisholm with another super chat donation. Thank you so much, good brother. Appreciate you. Always showing us love here. And that's why I'm telling Jimmy with all that. What's with all the super chats question? You gotta.
Why you so crazy? Take it easy. Take it easy.
Cool. I love you guys.
Not enough super chats. More super chats.
I'm a fan. I'm glad at least some of you are enjoying the show. Unlike our friend here, fucking Sister Soldier, Wallace.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
And can't help himself, ladies and gentlemen.
Hangman.
Will Chisholm with the super chat donation saying we got one House of Black member trying to keep his girl from Eddie's son, and the leader looks like he wants to leave AEW. It's in his eyes.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate Dummy for putting a Band-Aid on the Malachi Black situation, but when he convinced him to come back. But it's not really how that works. Let's just let him. I can't let him leave. But fucking figure something out. Put him some singles matches. Get some matches out of him before he leaves.
Exactly. You keep having these people leave, and it's just like the most obvious big money matchups for these people you never did.
Right?
That's why that's another reason I got so excited off of Jay White coming out to interrupt MJF, because this is the type of match he would never give us. He never gives us two top guys going up against each other. He's like, I'm gonna hold off for a rainy day.
He like, what? Yeah, Jade mentioned that she talked to some of the girls in the main title picture and was wondering why they weren't fighting. That's egregious.
Yeah.
That's an issue.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah, that's why I said I like people have been saying, "Oh, AEW fumbled Jade." I wouldn't even go that far, but as far as the booking of the last 6 months, that's unquestionably the fumble.
Oh,
I don't think negotiation wise they even had a choice. I think Jade came to them and be like, "I'm leaving." Like I don't think there was any time to do a negotiation.
I'm leaving. I just thought I'd do you the courtesy of telling you.
Yeah, I'll give you a courtesy of telling you, and I'll come back to put over Chris.
That's
okay.
Why?
We got Will Chisholm with another super chat donation where he says Jade saying Cody help her get to WWE. Tony looking at Ricky Starks right now like, damn, I gotta put the title on him soon.
Ricky's, yeah.
I gotta put the title on him tomorrow.
Ricky's the only one I'm concerned about making the jump. We all knew Jay to be fine. We all knew.
I think MJF is under another contract. I think he has been.
Yeah,
it's pretty obvious, and especially how he's been talking about AEW as champion as of late. Yeah,
nothing but glowing things to say all of a sudden. Right, check must have cleared. Not mad at you. Get paid. And to be fair, if you said you can only sign one person to AEW, it would be MJF. Yeah, Ricky. I'm concerned about Ricky going to the E. Like he might be fine and he may not.
Like that's my whole thing with Ricky going to the E. I'm just like, I feel like fans are just going to be saying the same shit we talking about in AEW of, oh, I wish Ricky could get another chance. Oh, I wish Ricky, because like he's great on the mic. Don't get me wrong. He would be a top 5, top 10 guy on the mic when he gets to WWE. But WWE kind of wants you to do both, and they already have their people that they kind of have that Ricky will never be able to get ahead of. And Cody already had that built in of being there before, being a product of them, and being the son of Dusty Rhodes. You don't have that, my dude, and you're black. Like, it's the double whammy.
Yeah, I would hold off on that. Let's see if you can get an extension for 6 months here. I would only do 6-month deals in AEW and just see where I'm at afterwards. I can't.
100%, big man, dog. Vince would make Ricky a manager, though. I don't know if Jade's manager, but he would legitimately make Ricky a manager.
Max Dupree.
Ricky Dupree.
Oh, Vince stinks. Sorry, sir. But yeah, think it over, Ricky. Just think it over for a little bit. No rush. No, man. There's no rush.
Yeah, you would have to think that too, RP Jesus. Much like Ospreay is begging NJPW to give him a reason to stay there. There are people, plenty of people begging Tony to give them a reason to stay. Yeah, I think there are. There are people that are just like, yo, like I will go over here, get my money, and probably not be used, but give me a reason to stay here. Use me here so I can stay here.
That's a good way to put it. It's a great way to put it, RPGs. Absolutely. And Ricky, to me, strikes as one of those guys.
Yes.
He knows he's the bigger star here, bigger fish in a medium-sized pond. Don't make me leave. Just treat me with a little respect. Don't make me leave.
Don't make me leave. Don't make me leave. Jade was just like, I'm ready.
Yeah.
This was only temper. This was college, sweetheart. I'm ready for my real job. But that brings us to a close on another episode of AEW Dynamite. You guys in the live chat, the most important thing you can do for us now is the last call for super chat donations. So if you have any other thoughts, any other questions you would like to be read out on screen, you could send them now. But more importantly, everybody sound off with your match of the night. MVP, LVP, thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle for the show. And out of 10, what did you give the show this week? For me and Jimmy, we will put our thumbs in the middle for the September 27, 2023 edition of AEW Dynamite in 3, 2, 1. Thumbs up across the board. Out of 10, what did you give the show, Jimmy?
7.
I gave the show 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. I thought they did a good job building towards WrestleDream, and this was a promo-heavy show, yet we had a very fun 4-way match, a fantastic 3-way matchup. I didn't have a problem with Phoenix and Jeff Jarrett, and I really enjoyed Julia Hart versus Willow Nightingale. So despite it not being heavy on wrestling, everything was either fine to great on the show wrestling-wise, and the promo work was really strong, whether it's the sit-down interview with Christian and Darby, the promo exchange with MJF and Jay White, the whole angle at the end. I think they did a really good job with this episode.
It's my birthday? What the fuck's going on here? What are we talking about? Oh, yeah, whatever. Ace too high. Good argument. Well said. Yes, too high. That's not too much. No.
I love that. I broke it down and told you why I'm giving it.
No. Jay White, MJF too long.
Fantastic. Love it. Super chat from Will Chisholm. Once again, thank you so much, good brother. He says, I'm Ricky, starting to getting muscles. We know something up. Plus, Ricky light skin. He might have a chance.
This is true. And he's on the taller side.
Man, the last guy that resembled The Rock that the WWE got sniffed of was Sonny Siaki. They sent his ass to TNA at the Asylum.
No, don't do that, Skip Bayless. That was forever ago. Jesus.
They sent his ass. He sent his ass to the Asylum in TNA.
He did really favor The Rock. I just never liked his actual style. Yeah, MVP Jay White. Oh, jeez, I gotta watch that segment again. I've already watched it twice. I don't see it.
My MVP, Maxwell Jacob Freeman, MVP of the show is, I agree with Dre. It is Switchblade Jay White, top position, going up against MJF, and he held his own against one of the best talkers in the entire business because he is one of the best talkers in the entire business. So Jay White is my MVP. Who is yours, Jimmy?
No. Christian Cage, the best character in the business, the best talker on AEW, not named Eddie Kingston, I think. I am thoroughly fond of this character work he's been doing. He is fucking hilarious.
He was great on this show as well.
And a half? Nigga, what? Come on, man.
Our Antoine Khan, least valuable player of the show, Jimmy.
I'm gonna go with Hangman because you cannot be doing. This whole thing started because of your host shit, and now you're gonna throw some more host shit after you've already won. The storm has calmed and then moved on, and you're gonna try to reignite this bitch. What the fuck is wrong with you? You a self-sabotaging psychopath. What is wrong with you?
It's the story. It's the story they're telling. It's not the Dark Cloud.
That's what it was.
Say the Dark Cloud was name was Phil.
You picked it up. I picked it up right away. I don't think it takes Dax that long to pick it up, or Cash, or Starks, or Darby to go.
They like Hangman.
I wonder who he's talking about.
They like Hangman. They like him.
Hoe ass shit. How Punk sneaks in the building and slaps the cocksucker in his face. Stop being a hoe.
LVP for me, Matt Jackson. Because his brother won his matchup and had the better matchup in the singles match, and Matt lost his.
Well, Matt's the less talented brother. I don't know what you expect. You can't give an LVP for that. Being not talented. He's not talented. He's born not talented. So
he is talented. Will you stop? I didn't say all of that.
He's talented in what way? He doesn't wrestle like Nick. He's not confident like Nick. He's not as charismatic as Nick. He fucking is not a great promo. His merch, he's got good merch. Oh, Bullet Club stuff, except with Young Bucks on it. Brilliant. Who would have thought? Who would have thought of this idea? Give him a contract. LVP, Matt Jackson. What the fuck? Come on.
We got another super chat donation, this time by Roxy. Thank you, Roxy. Big super chat donation as well. You're making Tony Khan
Let's fucking go.
Ugh. Play that again. Look at CM Punk's face. Play that again. Watch CM.
Let's fucking go.
Please, guy's a fucking nerd. Yeah, no shit, stupid. Should have signed there, you dummy.
Roxy said predictions or hopes for Sunday, Jimmy.
Oh, we're getting Edge. Shit. Darby wins. Dragon and Sabre Jr. match tonight. And something to do with ROH. I don't know what. Some type of major ROH news of some kind.
Also, a new era.
What the fuck? These motherfuckers lose to Better Than You Baby in fucking 12 seconds. And then they lose to fucking the Sex Gods. And then they beat FTR. Props to Young Bucks for their fucking 4D chess. This is fucking what happens. Oh.
Frantic Girl is saying MVP the women, Jay White and Better Than You Baby. Ace giving match of the night to Willow versus Julia Hart.
Oh, I'm not mad at that take.
Jimmy Macram, what was your Bryan Danielson versus Kenny Omega match of the night?
That would be my number 2. Willow versus Julia Hart. I think I'm going with the triple threat with the talented Nick Jackson.
I am also going to go with the 3-way matchup with Cage, Claudio, and Nick Jackson. That was fabulous. It was great.
Jesus, fabulous.
Fabulous.
You fucking did Cash give you his fucking dictionary? Oh, you use his top shelf words these days.
Top shelf.
Top shelf. Nothing's never good anymore. It's fabulous and great.
Because something can be good. The four-way match, that was good. This was a level above good. This was a level above good. Ace saying MVP, Jay White, the polished gent saying 6, meh, passable. LVP, Sammy, MVP, Switchy. We got Negro Bucket, MVP, King Switch. Honorable mention to Christian.
Fucking again. I've watched it twice. It's a long ass fucking promo. Fine.
Annika saying LVP Jimmy for acknowledging me or Roxy in. Or not acknowledging, I guess.
Oh, I didn't acknowledge Roxy. Oh, when I was talking about CM,
the only black woman.
Sorry, I forgot about Roxy. Apologies, Roxy. I forgot about you. Annika. You know you have to do penance. You have to say like 12 Hail Marys or whatever the fuck before I can forgive you. I mean, come on now.
Steven saying Aussie Open beating FTR. Sheesh. And a new era news. So we shall find out what the new era means.
I forgot about Sammy too. I might have to consider it because he's completely lost in that group now. He was lost.
He is the 6th most important guy in his trios matchup on Sunday.
With relatively,
Kota Ibushi doesn't cut English promos. He's more important to that matchup than Sammy now.
Joe Pearl. Hello, sir. How are you?
Our guy. Joe Pearl, we gotta let Jimmy know in advance because me and Jeremy were trying to get him on In the Weeds, but I told Jeremy Jimmy has not seen before 12 p.m. in quite some years. Joe Pearl saying, has Jimmy discussed the merits of Jay White, the heel, getting beaten down in the final segment?
Very odd. We all think it's a play by Adam Cole to set up MJF. We'll see how it goes. I don't know how I feel about it because Jay White's whole shtick is that he's kind of too cool for school. He's kind of nothing really bothers him. So seeing it beat down is kind of a weird choice, all things considered.
I think Tony is listening to the crowd reaction because when his music hit, he gets a pop. I think the act of Bullet Club Gold, I've made this comparison before, and I think we're seeing it redone all over again of that DX foursome of Triple H, X-Pac, and New Age Outlaws. People tend to not remember. They were only heel for 2 months because they were too cool and got over with the fans. So are they foreshadowing the fact that maybe after he's done with MJF, they're going to be positioning Bullet Club Gold as baby faces?
I hope not. They're not likable. No offense. No offense.
Neither was DX in 1998.
No. Only person that likable in that group is Jay. Oh, also about DX.
Oh, you talking about DX? Oh, that group, that DX group? Yeah, Road Dogg. That was it.
That's about it. Like everybody else, yeah. But yeah. No, Bullet Club Gold can't be baby faces. Like Juice is a baby face because Juice is hilarious, but everybody else,
That's true. That's true. Joel said we got to make that happen. You on In the Weeds. We got to let him know in advance, though. We got to let him know in advance.
Yeah. Like I barely woke up for this shit at 1 o'clock. I went to bed at like 7 in the morning. Like, fucking.
We filmed our new show at like 11 p.m. at night. And he was like, "Yeah, I'm just getting my day started." I was like, "What are we doing?" I'm going to sleep after this. We got LOL, you're forgiven from Roxy saying, I'm a benevolent goddess. Look at that.
Thank you, ma'am. And Steve Austin forgives you your sins as well. Fucking Bullet Club Gold.
Are you not like Juice and Switchblade? Come on.
I love Juice and Switchblade together, but as complete douchebags. By the way, they remind me of the original DX way more than I know it's 4 of them. They remind me of the Michaels HDX. Because Switchblade gives off this kind of not giving a fuck. Just works. It just works. Ironically, the leader of the group here is Rick Rude. It's just these children Act like idiots around him. He's Rick Rude.
With a fucking cardboard Jimmy, that brings us to a close on another edition of AEWramble. Please let the people know where they can follow you on social media and when they will see you next.
At Jimmy Macram on Twitter, where we look at some shockingly awful wrestling takes by the horrendous fans of AEW and WWE, telling me things that are not true objectively. Like, I don't know. I'm not going to start on Annika again. We're being nice. We're being nice people today. And Annika's on her Hail Mary run. Give her a pass. And YouTube, where we watch TV shows.
Stone Cold don't forgive you for saying he got Pat Ewing knees, says Trey Jones. He also says his knees were more like D Rose.
Yeah, them shits were over. Degenerative ass knees. Kawhi Leonard's knees.
Got Kawhi Leonard knees. You can follow me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSP3. You can follow the gang Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at True Hill Heat, and check out all the great content we got on the channel right now, like our AEW Collision review, a Collision Discourse number 13 with me and Sober Guy JJ reviewing last week's AEW Collision. Also check out our NXT No Mercy preview from yesterday with me and Robert D. Felice from Fightful, breaking down all the action for this Saturday's show. But of course, this Sunday is AEW WrestleDream, so I'll be back tomorrow at 12:05 p.m. Eastern Time with our AEW WrestleDream preview. It will be myself and Joel Holbert of Wrestle Paris and Late Night Grin, so join us live for that. And In the Stars, we talked about it last week. It's going to be dropping tomorrow evening. In the Stars will drop In the Stars episode 1, so join us for that. It'll be dropping tomorrow evening following the AEW WrestleDream preview, so people can see Jimmy Macram rip apart Dave Meltzer's star ratings.
Horrendous. And you see all the matches that we enjoyed, since apparently you're only allowed to enjoy things. You can't think things are not well done or critical. Otherwise, uppity Negroes decide that they're not appropriately inspiring enough.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
Just saying. He's got a beard and an opinion and not two nickels to rub together.
For Jimmy Macram, it is me, your True Hill Phenom SP3. This has been AEWramble, episode 113. The Devil's Catalyst.
Thank you. Fuck you. Bye.
We are signing off until next time. Peace, y'all.